All right. Call to order. Don't have to do anything, right? Can I have a motion to approve the minutes from last month?
So moved, Jim Bonfils. Oh, I don't have to do-
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Let's see, board member comments. I don't think I have any comments for first time, but Marty?
She deals with personnel, she deals with the board. But I think this week she had one that's totally off the charts. I got a note from a neighbor along with a picture after he walked in the aquary of a bunch of snakes sitting there. So I had to contact the general manager and ask her to take care of the snakes, and I sent her a picture of the snakes. So if you ever wonder how varied the general manager's job is, it's very varied.
Did you take care of the snake?
The art of delegation.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that art.
That's all I have to say.
Don,
No comments from me, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
Terry?
I hope everyone had a great Mother's Day. It's great to see the weather improving. It's been a miserable spring, but things are looking up. So, and we got Father's Day coming up, so that's good.
Yeah,
That's all. That's all. I
Father's Day really doesn't rate as much as Mother's Day. Learned that in the past 40 years.
That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, Bill?
No comment.
Jim?
The only comment is Father's Day doesn't even come to, anywhere close to an anniversary date either.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
Keith? Yep. Angeline, right when you're drinking?
To see everybody. I really missed having everybody, in person. Mother's Day was great, yes. And I look forward to the retreat. And just in my closing remarks, I just want to say that I'm always grateful to our staff starts with the general manager and our deputy general manager and everybody else who's here, Mark, Alton. I don't always say this, but we are so grateful. I'm so grateful for all the work that you do. Without your support and your expertise and knowledge and understanding and the stuff that tinkles down from there, we would not be here. So thank you so much.
Carla, General Manager's report?
Thank you for that. Yes, we are ready for next week's board retreat. You will get a detailed agenda tomorrow with some more information, but most importantly, breakfast will be ready by 7:45. We'll start the session at 30. We will have a morning session on the Milestone Reservoir Project and also the Leesburg Joint Land Management Area. And then we will do a tour of Trap Rock before lunch. Charles Yudd, Deputy County Administrator, will also join us for that Joint Land Management Area presentation. Just maybe get the county's perspective, or if you have any questions of him, he will be there. So we will then have lunch, and some of you know Mr. Hobie Mitchell, who served on our board for about 20 years. Hobie's term ended and pandemic set in, and we never really got to present Hobie with his resolution of appreciation. So we are going to do that at lunch next Thursday. So Mr. Mitchell will join us for lunch, and we can give him his resolution of appreciation that you approved in March of 2020. Thank
Is the
you.
retreat here?
The retreat will be at Trap Rock. I should have mentioned that. Trap Rock Water Treatment
Oh,
Plant.
missed that.
Yes. Sorry
Where's
about
the
that.
lunch?
The
At
lunch
Trap
will
Rock?
be at Trap Rock, yes.
Got it.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're not going to take a picnic tour of the quarry?
We are doing, well, that was my next bullet. So, so after lunch, for those that are interested, we will board a bus to do a tour of Milestone Reservoir, along with the Two Creeks property that we've been talking about in conjunction with the park, and also drive through portions of the Joint Land Management Area and the TPA to look at some major projects that we're undertaking in there. Just a couple notes about that. We will be outside, and we would also suggest that you wear comfortable shoes because we will be doing some walking around. Let's see. Okay, so last night, staff attended the Board of Supervisors public hearing regarding our special exception application to place 2 equalization tanks near the 100-year floodplain over at the Broad Run for the expansion project, which results in a minor floodplain alteration. Kendra Spiam, our Director of Wastewater Operations, gave a very well received presentation to the board and really help them understand the critical nature of the project in these particular tanks. So the board did approve moving the item to their June 21st business meeting for action. We are offering them tours if they would like to come and see the site, in advance of their vote, and we can certainly offer that to you as well if you're interested. We do not have it on next week's schedule. It kind of didn't fit per se, but certainly contact me or Jewel if you have any interest in going out there and looking at that site.
Is the road along the Greenway now open for us to use? The one
Yes.
past? Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Do what I did.
Mr. Allen would like to give directions. We will give directions in the,
I went,
emails
uh,
where-
We went the old way
I
and now
went
I can't get through there?
yeah, I went Cochrane Mill Road, and once you get near the plant, there's a big barricade.
Can't go any
But
further.
I drove around the barricade and through the field and over the curbs.
And
Did you
the,
get
it's on
there?
camera.
Yeah, if I had gone back.
the
it would've
guys from
taken
Panda
me-
Power didn't come out
Well,
with
there's-
guns?
Was this in the Tesla or the?
This was in the Suburban thing.
Oh,
okay.
So, yeah, so don't, go Sicklen.
We'll give directions.
Sickland to the new road,
To
the new
road,
end.
yeah.
So we turn right off Sickland.
It's a left off of Sicklen if you're
Depends on which way
coming
you're
from
coming from.
Leesburg.
Yeah, but from those of us that live in Ashburn, it's a right.
Right. I was gonna say it, but
Carla, can I ask
Yes.
a question? Or Chair, can I ask a question?
Mhm.
So I wasn't at the last meeting, maybe you reported it, and I suspect that you did. But how was the tour with our Congresswoman?
Oh, the tour with Congresswoman Weston went very well. She was very impressed with the plant.
Yeah.
It was about a 45-minute tour with her and her aide, and she really appreciated getting to know the plant and what
Did
we
you get a
do there.
picture with her next to our names?
I wasn't responsible.
We
for
didn't get
pictures.
that, we didn't get that picture. but-
There goes that delegation thing again, I'm not sure.
we should watch that video again, the one that we showed, Congresswoman Weck.
Yeah.
For new board members.
I think.
Yeah, we were thinking, we were gonna have that at the beginning
Okay.
of our session there, yeah.
Yeah.
Boy, we're stealing all your thunder.
That was the only part.
Yes.
Helicopter tours.
There's no helicopter. tour.
Good.
This
Okay.
is really a joke. I mean, we had the tour, but Marty said he never would get on a helicopter for
I
sure.
did not go.
I sat in the front seat. I loved it.
I seriously said, I don't have any fears, but I mean,
Yeah.
while
No,
we're
this
still
is
on
very,
that subject.
We shouldn't have done that.
This is very limo bus,
Okay.
is as far as we're gonna go with
Got a big
excitement
smile on your face,
Yeah.
everybody.
for this retreat.
A limo bus, I think I can get on.
Yeah.
Let's see, on Thursday, April 28th, Loudon achieved a great milestone by sending water from the Goose Creek intake and raw water pump station to Trap Rock through our Goose Creek emergency pipeline that we've been talking to you about. This is a major resiliency improvement for our customers so that we have the option of utilizing water from Goose Creek and Beaver Dam at Trap Rock to keep the plant operating at full production during emergency on the river. I also wanted to mention that the Goose Creek land use study is underway so that we can now determine what's the best use of that plant and the land around it. Our line maintenance department has crossed the halfway point of our annual hydrant flushing program, which serves to clean our water distribution pipes and verify the operation and maintenance of our fire hydrants. The team is working hard and they're ahead of schedule. And they look to close in on completing a grand total of 14,000 hydrants by June 10th. So hats off to them. They do work very hard. May 2nd, 2022 marked the 14th anniversary of the first discharge from our Broad Run water reclamation facility. Staff continues to do an amazing job of keeping the plant operating smoothly, producing high quality effluent. Even with the major construction that's going on over there, the plant is operating without any issues. And as far as the expansion project goes, we'll cross the halfway point of the 42-month construction schedule later this month and it continues to be on track for the scheduled substantial completion date. Trap Rock has been awarded the Gold Award for 2021 Excellence in Waterworks Operations and Performance by the Virginia Department of Health Office of Drinking Water. This award is given to treatment plants that meet or exceed minimum standards for filtration, clarity, and the filter backwash process. ERCs through April totaled 587. Just a couple reminders. Again, board retreat next Thursday. CIP committee meeting Wednesday, May 25th at 8 a.m. A joint audit finance committee meeting on Thursday, May 26th at 8 a.m. And again, if you are not on the committee but would like to participate remotely, please let Jewel know and she will get an invitation out to you. That's all I have.
And if I could add one thing, remember to bring your ID cards because you need that to get in the gate at Trap Rock.
Thank you.
Otherwise, you'll be out there pushing buttons trying to get buzzed in.
Mr. Chairman, could I just ask, I saw when we had our little monsoon last week and I saw a barge floating down the Potomac in West Virginia. No damage to our intake on the Potomac? I know there's barriers and all, I just.
Right. No damage. ICPRB was staying on top of that and we were in the loop on that as well. So-
Yeah, they actually didn't reach that far down. They got hung up before that. We were watching pretty close.
Yeah, there were actually two of them, I believe,
Yeah.
right? And they tied them off somewhere near Harper's Ferry.
Righty. Carl, any members of the public speaking or on the phone that want to talk?
Board members know that on the table right there, we have Toby Mitchell's resolution. If you could keep it at the bottom before you leave today, we'll present that to him at the retreat.
Okay, sounds great.
Thanks.
All right.
Adoption of agenda.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't read that. It's like, I don't know where it is. Okay, can I have a motion to adopt today's agenda? Any second? All in favor? Aye. Okay, Marty, CIP?
Okay, there are two items. One is approval of a professional design service contract amendment for Beaver Dam Reservoir Park. As I'm sure all of you know about the project, that's a cooperative project between Loudon Water and Nova Parks to develop the land around the Beaver Dam Reservoir. In November, the board approved a contract with Nelson Bird, I guess it's called Waltz, for design, permitting, and bid phase services for $860,000. During the course of design, a number of out-of-scope items increased the design cost by $78,000. The CIP committee recommended approval of a contract amendment for $78,900 for an authorized budget ceiling of $938,900. The CIP committee recommended placing this item on the consent agenda. Chairman Koblis requested that this item be placed on the action agenda so that he could recuse himself from the vote on the item. Since this was originally a consent item, I recommend that the presentation for this item be waived when it appears on the action agenda. I don't know, is there a vote that has to be taken or any? Okay, so anyway, I suggest that we waive the presentation at that time. The second item is the award of a construction contract for Raspberry Selma Water Treatment Facility pump upgrades. The Selma Estates Water Treatment Plant treats groundwater and distributes potable water to the Raspberry Falls and Selma Estates communities. The current pumps are oversized for low flow conditions, thus resulting in excessive cycling, pump deadheading, and overall efficient pump operation. I had to look up what pump deadheading was, but anyway. The project received bids on April 13th, with the low bid received from CPP Construction Company for $373,000. The CIP committee recommended approval of the construction project to replace the pumps and a pump control panel for $373,000 with an approximate 5% contingency for a total authorized budget of $392,000 and place the item on the board consent agenda. These two items were followed by capital construction quarterly report and the capital spending monthly report. Next meeting scheduled for May 25th. That's it.
Barry?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had 4 items at our meeting. They're all on the consent agenda. The first one was an update to the landfill water service district policy by our attorney, Jonathan Rack. In the early 1990s, Loudoun County Board of Supervisors decided to extend central water lines into the rural area around the county's landfill to address concerns for residents and property owners about potential groundwater contamination. In 1995, a resolution was passed making connections in that water service area mandatory. Staff recently reviewed our current rates, rules, and regulations and noticed that we didn't have anything in there specifically adopting this resolution. So they've incorporated this administrative change and added the policy. The policy is printed on the handout, so I'm not going to read it to you. But the Finance Committee approved it and it's on consent. The next item was a deed of quit claim and vacation for Skills Water Treatment Facility plant. Skills USA is a business that's located just north of the village of Luckett's. And their water treatment plant is presently owned and operated by Loudoun Water. As we're all aware, DEQ will implement these new ammonia standards and regulations. We had a presentation at our last board meeting talking about that. So this plant will be subject to that. It's going to cost them $1 to $2 million to upgrade that plant. So they've decided against doing that. Their discharge at the facility has dramatically decreased. So they're going to switch to a drain field system that will be approved by the county. When the time comes, we will execute the quit claim deed and vacation deed and transfer the property back to Skills. This item is on consent as well. Then we approved the Davenport and Company Financial Advisory Service contract. As you know, we've been piggybacking, I think, for the last 7 or 8 years off of Montgomery County, Virginia. This pretty much the same terms as always. You can see the rates on the handout. The Finance Committee recommends that we extend this contract again for another year. It'll expire next May of 2023. It's on consent. And then the last item is the general manager is requesting the board consider an increase to the 2022 personnel budget to cover an inflationary salary adjustment for all employees effective June 1st, 2022. Loudoun County has adopted a 5% merit increase for their general workforce for fiscal 2023. The town of Leesburg adopted a 4% merit increase. Personnel budget by $576,000. This will equate to 576. I just said that to the 2020 budget. The general manager is confident that the organization can absorb any of these increases. The increase will not have a negative impact on our user rates or the 5-year plan of financing. And this is also on consent as well. Some monthly numbers, total revenues are slightly above forecast. Operating and non-operating expenses are slightly below. So that's pretty much standard for us. Through March, we had 407 ERCs, so we're down compared to the previous years. In March, our total cash equivalents investments was $269 million, and the weighted average yield was 0.71. And our next meeting is next Thursday. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Thanks, Terry. Can I have a motion to approve the consent items?
So
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. On the action item, I'm going to recuse myself, but as Marty said, probably won't be a presentation. And can I have a motion to approve the action agenda item? And a second? Second. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. And you got me recusing, right? Thank you. New business, none, informational. Who's doing, oh, that's the main man here. Gonna do the
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The board's bylaws set the date for the annual election of officers at your June board meeting, which comes up, I think, on the 9th. And this is just to remind you that that is coming up. The bylaws provide a 4 consecutive year term limit for the offices of chair and vice chair. And Mark and Terry are concluding their 2nd consecutive terms so that they are eligible for reelection as chair and vice chair respectively, if that is the board's wish. The procedure for the vote, as you know, there's no secret ballots in a public authority, so it'll all be on the record. I'll take nominations for the office of chair first. If there's one nomination only, then I'll just ask for a motion for you to approve that nomination. If there's more than one, then we'll vote. And if any individual board member receives a majority, then they will become the office, whether it be chair or vice chair. Any board member can nominate any member of the board for those offices, including himself or herself. So those are the basic rules and procedures. We also will vote to elect the treasurer and the secretary. Those offices are traditionally held by the general manager and the board secretary. So that'll come up as well. And if you have any questions about the procedures, please let me know.
Thank you. All right, Brian, any thing to talk about?
I'm happy to answer any questions.
This is on the finance summary. I'm squinting. Jessica is probably online, or are you covering for Alton?
I believe she's online, but I'd be happy to
Yeah, is
help.
there any questions on the water resource management report? Okay, and any questions for Hue on water and sewer agreements?
Yes, yes.
I'm not in a rush. Last time I was in a rush, but today I got all afternoon. If you want to drag it out, Terry, I can drag it out.
No, I don't have it.
I am not trying to rush. All right. Tom Lipinski with the quarterly report, which if anybody's interested in seeing it, most of us saw it in the CIP. All right. The capital construction report. Any questions on it? These are all quarterly reports. Oh, you are the man. Yeah. He made the letters bigger over here.
And behind it. All of them got bigger. Oh.
And any questions on, I'm sorry, I didn't hear, were there any questions on the construction report? This is great. This is great when a board reads their stuff before the meeting. I'm telling you, you can't imagine. Land development report? Anything for Way?
Yes.
There we go.
There you go.
He found it.
Yes, it is. It was more of a comment, and I don't know if there merits any conversation, but I noticed first quarter, the county referrals, the new plan submissions, the plans approved, construction permits issued were all at a 5-year low. Inflation? Is it inflation? Is there any, and I know it's more of an economic thing, but what's going on?
I think people are waiting for construction to get cheaper pricing. I think a lot of people think that the prices are going to go down next year, so people are holding off doing stuff, at least temporary.
Then there's going to be a rush.
And then there's going to be a
It's
rush.
not going to happen.
No, it's not.
All right, that was my only comment / question. I don't know.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah,
Wow.
any kind of like kitchen equipment is like, it take 9 months to a year to get. A refrigerator,
18 months.
But
it's
even,
18 months?
It will
Yeah.
be.
even simple things
Peak
like,
summer, people do most of their home improvements in the summertime, so 18
Oh.
months.
That's all I had, Mr. Chairman. on that.
Okay. All right, O&M with Alton?
I did want to take a couple of quick moments.
Sure.
So this particular report covers the first quarter of 2022, and you'll recall there were 2 violations noted on this report. The one was associated with a February violation at the Luckett's wastewater treatment plant, which we contract operate for Loudoun County Public Schools. And I think you'll recall this site is undersized and it has been problematic with treatment during cold weather months. Now, on the good news, the new plant is online as of the second quarter of this year, and it's running well. Startup has gone exceptionally well. So hopefully you won't see anything on this again. We won't see anything on this again. And then the other occurred at Broad Run in March, and it was as part of a scheduled discharge from one of our industrial users. And we had been working closely with this particular user, but as the slug from their discharge made its way to the plant, it did inhibit the treatment process unexpectedly, and it caused us a slight exceedance in our weekly average for nitrogen. And I have Kendra on the line as well, again, our Director of Water Reclamation, who really helped us respond well to this. And I may allow her to elaborate just a bit further to let you know about that particular violation.
Thanks, Alton.
No, we did self-report and, made contact with DEQ, and we haven't received anything from them yet on this particular violation. But I'll let Kendra go ahead and be a little more.
Absolutely. Our reporting to DEQ, we let them know what happened and how we had addressed it. So we will see what other correspondence we get from them. But I just wanted to let the board know that the industrial user worked with us very closely. We were able to do some very detailed testing and have had 2 successful flushes with them since that did not inhibit the treatment plant.
Okay.
Thank you.
I had a question, excuse me. So with the Luckett's, right, when I got on the board, I do remember now, memory serves me right. It was, I think, 2020, something like that. We had some work done in Luckett's, right? For elementary school or in that particular area, right? In
Correct.
Luckett's?
This project's been ongoing for a while. They've been
Yeah.
constructing a replacement of the existing plant.
Right.
And it primarily serves the elementary school.
Yes.
And a couple of additional county facilities, the firehouse and so forth.
Right.
And so that's project's coming to a close, has come to a close now, and the new plant's online.
Okay, so, right, so I was right. So just 2 questions, like, is there any like constraints that we see with this project? Like, how can you give me an update? Because I mean, that was very near and dear to me, this project. That's why I remember that. So-
Sure. Well, we do contract operate. So Loudoun County Public Schools is the owner and
Yeah.
permit holder for the facility.
Mhm.
So we contract operate on a time and material basis, and we've advised them through their development of the new treatment plant, their design process and construction startup, and our staff's involved with operating the new facility now.
Okay,
So that's been a smooth transition. The startup process has gone very well, and the new plant's operating smoothly.
right. The way I remember is because, right, with the Luckett's Elementary School, because there were kids involved in this, there was elementary school involved, I dig deeper into that, so I do remember that. So, okay, thank you for that, yeah.
Right. And just to be clear, this is the wastewater treatment
Yes.
portion
wastewater
serving the
treatment.
school.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
in terms of the public health perspective,
Yeah.
it's the wastewater side.
Thank you so much.
Yes, you're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
All righty. Any questions on the safety results? We don't have a closed meeting. Are you kidding me? We're over? We're done in half an hour? Is there anybody else want to yak about anything?
well, we are meeting for a planning session a whole day coming up next week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it. That's why this one's a short one. All right. Well, let's go Caps, go Penguins. And who knows about the Nats anymore? I can't even watch it anymore.
Carla, you were talking about the other potential site tour that, you know, we were interested in.
Yeah.
I didn't quite catch that at the Broad Run. And that would be like a separate tour on a separate day.
That would be separate, we would just coordinate with individuals.
Okay.
Make that a
Right. Okay. And so if we're interested and we want to go, would it be potentially in the morning or afternoon, or do you know?
We could work with your schedule. but,
Okay.
Mark's been giving the tours of that particular site, so we could just.
Yeah, we
whatever
can-
Works for you.
Okay.
If we have a
I
couple
was
of options, I
interested.
think we
That's what I was
can,
Asking you, so I'll get in touch with you.
we,
Okay.
yeah, we can accommodate. And we had some planning commissioners in and it was extremely helpful. And for planning purposes, because it's a little bit of walk through some slides and kind of talk a little bit and then walk around a little bit. It's been about an hour and a half.
Okay.
We can do it shorter, but that's kind of been the ideal time if that works.
Okay. Yeah, if it's an hour and a half, that's fine too. I rather like look at the presentation
Yeah.
because it gives me the mental
Yes.
mindset. And
Yeah,
then when I
it's-
go and I can correlate with, you know,
Yeah.
what the presentation is about.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
Are we getting any good swag on Thursday? Because I missed that. I'm just kidding.
We're not giving anything. in
Oh, man, we
advance.
used to get jackets, shirts. That's the
Running budget.
old chairman, the spend money chairman. I'm cheap.
So hopefully the weather is good, right? 'Cause
Oh, we
there's
got
that-
boots
yeah.
too. Remember we got boots? Steel-toed boots.
Yes.
Jeez.
So
All
with
right.
respect to the weather, we're going to go ahead and for sure have the retreat next Thursday because the entire morning is indoors.
Yeah.
If by chance it's raining in the
I think
afternoon,
it's gonna be nice.
we'll reschedule that portion of it. But for now, it's a go.
Okay.
All right, can I have a motion to adjourn? Second, anybody? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, everybody.